Hey guys, let's talk about hair loss and why community is such a big part of our treatment arsenal. This and more here at The Hair Wire. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to The Hair Wire. I'm your host, Sergio Cardona, coming to you live week after week, every Wednesday evening around 11:30-ish, 12. Thank you guys for tuning in week after week and making our show your source for continuous education. And here at The Hair Wire, you know our motto, it's all about get hair smart. Get hair smart here with The Hair Wire. Visit our website, thehairwire.com, thehairwire.com. And we want to thank our panel today, Carrie, Jared, and Bisan Dipsy. How you guys are doing today?
Great. We are so excited for this day today. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. Today, guys, we have among us a very special lady. She's Kelly. And Kelly, she's been around for a while with a group, a special group called Italian Effluvian Support Group. Now, Kelly, tell us a bit about yourself. How come you got involved into a support group and why you thought it was, something very important for the community to have a place like yours?
Well, I lost my hair in 2015 and I felt very alone. There was nobody that I could talk to. There was no doctor knew anything about it. So I felt very alone. I found one lady in Malaysia that had lost her hair and she became my rock. And so I knew nothing. So I had to do my own research. And thankfully, my hair grew back a few months later after I lost it. And a year later, that friend in Malaysia said that I should create a Facebook group. And at the time, I thought nobody has ever lost their hair before. Who's going to join this group? But I did. I created the group. And sure enough, it started to grow. And I was shocked because I couldn't believe how many people have had hair loss issues. Like, for whatever reason, I thought I was the only one. And so the more the group grew, the more I realized that the pain and suffering that I went through feeling so alone did have a higher purpose, and it wasn't unnecessary what I went through. So it started to actually help me feel better about my own hair loss and the journey that I had to go through alone. And so that's where the group kind of became a community support group for people who were losing their hair to be able to talk to other people who have lost their hair. And it just has kept growing, and we're at 10,000 people now. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, since you have a group, I mean, there's a lot of common concerns that people experience and people share. What are some of the things that you hear the most among your people, among the group that, you're leading right now?
The number one thing is they don't know how to cope. They don't know how to cope with the hair loss. They don't know how to cope with the emotional part of losing your hair. How do you fit into a society that is revolved around superficial and what we look like? That's the number one thing, is how to cope.
Yes.
Number two is, where do you turn to get valid information on how to take care of this? Well, like, why did I lose my hair? Why am I losing my hair? What can I do to help myself? Where can I get products or extensions or wigs or whatever to be able to get into society and not feel insecure about it? Those would probably be the top two.
Nice. Now, when we talk about community, one of the things that we mentioned when we were backstage was about, how community becomes part of this arsenal, because we need a tribe. We need a tribe of people. If you're facing, whatever struggle in your life, when you do it alone, it takes a toll. It takes a toll on your system, takes a toll on, on yourself, your self-esteem. And when it comes to hair loss, it's even greater than that, because you're losing. And, as part of whenever you're losing your hair, it's like losing your job, losing a dear friend or something like that. And, the way it emotionally, connects with us, it's amazing. And unfortunately, hair loss by itself is very stressful. So if you already were diagnosed, or you had alopecia, or in this case, intelligent effluvium, and it was because of stress. start losing hair, it becomes even more stressful,
Right.
and the burden, it becomes bigger. So having a tribe, having a group of people, really helps emotionally. Now, tell me a bit about those journeys and with the group, because maybe you're not a hair expert or anything, but at least you have a community and you're helping each other with at least coping with the
Mm.
process. Can you tell me some stories of people that, I mean, just by being there, where you'll be able to help?
Oh, I mean, we have a tab on the website or on the support group of all the recovery stories, and people who have shared how they entered the group and they were losing their hair, they didn't know where to turn to, and now their hair has grown back, and they credit the support of what they've gotten in the group to get them through their hair loss. So yeah, that happens often. And even my own success story is a hope for people in the group too. So I chime in whenever somebody's really in a down place. It honestly is. It's just, a lot of times people can't be honest with their friends and family about losing their hair because it's embarrassing or
Yeah.
whatever the reason is. And a lot of people try to hide it. And so that's why coming into a group where you don't have to hide yourself and you can take those embarrassing pictures of what your hair really looks like and post them and know that you're not going to get judged and
Yeah.
criticized and told that you look ugly. It's a really lovely thing to have, to be
Mhm.
a part of, especially when you're going through something like you said that is so stressful on top of whatever your health issue that you're battling.
Yeah. Actually, like just statistically speaking, if 50% of the person's recovery from hair loss is actually community, because if you feel alone and you don't know what to do, you're adding more stress to the
Correct.
situation, and stress is the biggest factor of
Right.
having hair loss. So you having this group, support group, actually you are giving, or you are giving the community 50% solution, and that's amazing,
Mhm.
because it's not, nobody has this. It's amazing, and thank you for doing that for the community. I wish everybody would be part of your community, because it's really important.
It
Sometimes
really is.
people actually will invite their friends, even if they're not losing their hair, to the group because it's so supportive.
Right. Very nice.
It's
It
Yeah.
really,
very
I mean,
active.
that's when I realized like this is more than just a hair loss support group. This is like
Right.
for people to just feel like they're a part of something where they don't have to feel hidden.
Very nice. Very nice. And
Hidden
when it
or
comes
alone.
to and when it comes to Kelly, to telogen effluvium, your group is only about telogen effluvium, or do you address other kind of hair loss?
Typically, yes, I labeled it telogen effluvium because at the time I didn't know there were more types of hair loss. That was just specifically what I had experienced, so that's why I did that. But now, since I've had the group for so long, I know now that there's obviously other types of hair loss. We don't have any people who are like any cancer chemo related type of hair loss. It's more everything else type of hair loss.
Okay. And where usually the group, where do they come up with the idea, like solutions, like psychological solutions, or opinions about how to get to maneuver their hair loss issue?
Normally people will just ask, what did you do in this situation? what
I
what
see.
should I do? And then people will chime in and say, well, this is what I did, this is what I did, this is what you should do. And people tend to just kind of find their own way based on what everybody else has been saying.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a really nice
Yeah, I
way.
tried in the last year, I've been trying to put together a lot of education because like you said, there's so much misinformation out there. I
Right.
tried to get as much education, like you said, I'm not a hair expert, right? This is just my own journey. So I'm trying to get as much information and education on that Facebook group as I possibly can because people don't know where to go. And I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to
Oh, I
try to
feel
have like a place where they can at least find some direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? I find that oftentimes the people that have the experiential learning of going through the hair loss know more than those that actually.
Right.
Agreed. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
become the expert because you tried things and you tried protocols that work and maybe not work. And
Mm,
so it's so personal to you. Of course, you will be going the extra mile to understand why this
yeah.
protocol worked and why this product didn't work.
Yeah.
And so tell us about how you're restricting products or selling products in your group. How do you filter these people?
Well, we do have three questions that you're supposed to answer before you get into the group, and I've found obviously people lie on that, which is unfortunate. But um, now that I look back, they know the right thing to say to be able to get into the group,
Mm.
and at that point, I can't limit everybody who has the same type of answer. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. They come in. Some will change their name on that same account, and then. Yeah, but like I said, I
Wow.
mean, the group is so active that I typically know, and I have an alert on my phone that I'll know within like 5 minutes of somebody trying to spam. The longest I
Nice.
think it went one day was 3 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but in those 3 hours, they'll post like 50 comments. They just I don't know
Wow.
how they do that. They just go through everybody's post and they just have this generic post that they try to. And sometimes people get caught up in it, but most of the time we try to get them out as quickly as possible.
Now, Kerry, I want to bring you in because Kelly brought something very particular, and this is your area because you're also webmaster. Now, we heard a lot about bots and people who pay
Mm.
advertisement and try to infiltrate into groups like the one Kelly has created to gain, clients of some sort. What's your take on this particular area, Kelly?
I actually had that happen. I
Oh,
had
so,
a couple.
sorry,
Yeah.
I meant
Oh,
Carrie.
sorry,
Sorry, sorry,
sorry, sorry.
sorry. This is
Yeah,
kind of
no,
my mispronunciation. Sorry.
we see this quite often, and those who don't know that are new to us, yes, I have a cosmetology and trichology background, but I also have a degree in marketing, so I do specialize on online marketing and web marketing. And unfortunately, a lot of people do marketing who don't follow code of ethics or morals, and they just go into spam and they take advantage of the algorithms. And you see that all the time, especially like we saw during COVID. We call it web warfare essentially. And so people will manipulate what people are seeing. And so if they have hair loss stuff coming up and people are on it, they take that as an opportunity and then spam people. And especially when you're most vulnerable, they're going to impact you with the most captivating story to get you invested in buying their product. So don't waste your money on that. Do your research. Do thorough investigation on the products, because if there was even a miracle for a money tree, we would all have money trees. Like it doesn't happen that way. So do your research, know where it's coming from, but know, Kelly, you are so awesome for weeding those people out and pulling out the good from the bad. And a lot of times, though, when we're in a vulnerable state, we fall for it. And so it's people like you that are making a difference in helping us protect each other from that and getting legit information and not this spammy stuff that manipulates people unethically.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Kelly, like kudos with what you're doing. You're like, it takes time. It's time, your personal time to weed these people and give your people the perfect education or the good education they deserve. Is like, tell me how, like, apparently you're so passionate about this. How is it rewarding for you?
Well, I mean, it helps me to heal myself because
Nice.
the more people that join the group and the more people I see that are struggling and then get help with the group makes me realize that, yes, my hair loss was the most traumatic thing I went through, but it was for a purpose.
That's nice.
So that gives me joy.
Wow. And
Yes.
this is years later.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
still healing yourself
Almost,
from
Yeah.
almost 10
trauma.
years now,
Well, I mean, when
basically.
you lose your hair, it's not something that goes away. Like you don't
Yeah.
ever just because my hair has grown back doesn't mean that I don't ever fear losing my hair again. It's a
Mm.
daily thing. So to just have the group and to know that even if I did lose my hair again, I know how to cope now. I know what to do moving forward. And that's gold.
Of course, that is gold.
Definitely.
Community
Yeah.
is gold. Community is gold.
Definitely. Guys, if you're watching and you're wondering where I can find Kelly, basically go to Facebook and write Intelligent Effluvium Support Group. Intelligent Effluvium Support Group. And right there, of course, you will need to go through the filter to get in. But if you really need a support group, you need a family, you need a tribe. This is a good tribe. I was lucky enough to meet Kelly, and it's something quite kind of funny because it was a client of mine who found me online, and she talked to me and she said, Sergio, you need to be in many other groups. You need to help me because I enjoy going online and just give free information. Enjoy helping people is my call, is my ministry, is what I do, is what I enjoy doing. But the thing is that through a mutual friend, basically, she connected me with Kelly. And I didn't know I was invited to be part of Kelly's group. And Kelly wrote to me and like, I didn't ask to be part of this group. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see. Then I looked down who was the person who invited me. I was like, oh, this is a friend of mine. This is a client. Okay, sure. This is why. And so Kelly let me in, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be part of this community and to help people in this community, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, unfortunately. And we were talking backstage, and unfortunately, when we go through what many doctors go through as training for hair, when you go through, particularly dermatologists, they get about 90 hours of training when it comes to hair. That's it. That's it. That's what they get in training, and they are the experts in skin related issues. That includes, of course, our scalp and our hair. And unfortunately, there's not too much information, and many they need to become specialized after they go out of med school. They need to re-specialize and get retrained again and get more information before they even start considering becoming an expert in hair loss and everything else. But unlike us in the trichology business, some of us, we have been doing the trichology for many years, decades, and of course we have been training for more than 6 years just to get where we are right now. And this is what makes a difference. When people become specialized in a particular area, we are able to provide more quality information. And this is why we are helping so many doctors, so many patients at the same time, and we're connecting the dots. And that this is what trichology is all about, bridging that gap. Now, Kelly, we want to ask about your involvement with the community and everything else. How do you see the idea of having professionals, talking to your customers, to your community, and and unfortunately, some of them might want to poach for clients or things of that nature. You have a strong community. You guys are weeding out the people, but how do you see this approach, and particularly for the ones like myself? We're trying to just put the information out there. What's your take on this?
So what I was going to say earlier is that we did have that issue. We had a Canadian doctor, and I can't think of his name right now, but we had a Canadian doctor who had approached. So I wanted to take a step back from the group because it was really affecting me. Watching everybody lose their hair was actually triggering to me. So for a while, I needed to take a step back, and I let these two women run the group. And I trusted them, and I thought they were running the group. And turns out that they had been approached by a Canadian doctor to just preach his stuff. And I started to notice it, but again, I trust him and I believed him. And then I don't remember what exactly happened that got me to be fully aware of it, but I realized what was going on. And this Canadian doctor was trying to infiltrate the group. So I removed the two women, and they ended up starting another group, but that's been shut down now, and they don't do the group anymore. But so I went through that rocky start, or that rocky period right there with that Canadian doctor. I mean, he probably meant a little well. I mean, I'm sure people want to help, but he was doing it not in a healthier way, and I didn't like it. So I got those women out. But I've always had the vision that I wanted to collaborate or to connect with people like you guys to be able to continue in educating these people. Because I'm not the hair expert, I don't know how to guide people with the blood test and, the trichology, all of that stuff. So I was always hopeful that I could align with something like that to be able to help on that aspect of it as well.
Yeah, this is our mission in the Hair Wire, actually. This is why we created the Hair Wire.
Yeah.
As Sergio told you backstage, we three of us come from an academic place where we used to teach cosmetologists the course of trichology, and we did Sergio in particular did a lot of clinical training in his office, and Carrie and me, we were the online people who are teaching other cosmetologists the basics of trichology. So let me just explain a little bit, if I may, please. So basically, any trichologist, we study the hair science, the basics hair science. We study basic biology, of course, but also we study what our nervous system is going to contribute to our hair loss, what our digestive system is going to contribute to hair loss. So basically, trichology is the connection between biology and the hair. That's what, and also we study scalp disorders. We study how to identify different scalp disorders, and we as I mentioned before backstage, every one of us is an expert in one particular issue. For example, I'm an expert in gut health because it's my personal journey. It's exactly how your personal journey was hair loss. My personal journey was my digestive system shut down after I got hit with a big trauma, and then I lost my hair afterwards. And in my head, it's like they are two not connected, but they are two very, very well connected. In a way, what we are trying to do in the hair wire, bringing our niches together, bringing out everybody has different specialty, if you may say that. And hair loss, as you know, it's a multifactorial. So some people loses hair because of autoimmune disease. Some people loses hair because of trauma happened. That's a nervous system thing. Some people lose hair, as myself, as a digestive issue. So we cannot all together, we cannot one person fix everybody, right? That's why we need a community like yours, and a community with people who are specialized in one thing to get to direct people where to go. And we are trying, we don't sell products, we don't sell anything, we actually sell our knowledge. And that's basically what trichology is. We try, anybody from anywhere in the world can contact any of us and say, well, I'm losing my hair. And we, as a trichologist, we are detectives. We keep asking questions to understand why the trigger was, where was the trigger, and what is the root cause of the hair loss. And we try to educate them about where they should go. Maybe I can help if it's a digestive issue. Maybe Carrie can help if it's an epigenetic stressful issue. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to bring in the hair wire. And we like, it's just that we are so thankful for you because you started this community, and we're just telling you, like explaining to you what trichology is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, keeping a community like that is not an easy job, and you have been doing it for almost 10 years now. So it's quite the
A
journey.
lot
I
of
have to
time.
say, a lot of kudos. Keeping a group and keeping it running. I mean, that takes a lot. That takes a lot, and it's not an easy task. I mean, I've been building a couple groups before, but my God, it
Yeah,
takes a lot of time. It's
it
very
does.
demanding, and of course, I mean, nothing like something as organic as a community that self-regulates, that protects itself. And my gosh, you guys have been doing it. You guys have been doing it, Kelly, and we congratulate you for that, because definitely it's not it's something that the world seeks. In terms of population, everybody will love to have a community so they can command
Mhm.
or they can sell products to. They will love that, but that's why they fail, because it's not a true community. True community comes from necessity, comes from people who are actually experiencing, different issues, and they come together and they share and they talk, and
And support
what
one another.
yeah, support each other, and that's what makes a difference. And having a community like yourselves is above and beyond. And again, once I saw how the community is so active, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, guys. Again, I have to say, you have to stay connected with Telgen Effluvium Support Group. It's an amazing group. I was, blown away how active these people are and how they support each other. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing group, I have to say.
Yeah. And we have so many parallels. Like you are so ahead of us on the curve, but we have so many parallels in serving the community. So we thank you for that. And I want to ask you before we wrap up our session here with you, what is it that you want to tell us about your group that we didn't ask you?
I would like to be able to figure out how we can do what we're doing here and infiltrate it into the group, implement it into the group.
Okay. We
Like,
can definitely do that.
I want to be able to, even if it's so much as if you took this recording, if you record it and we posted it and let people watch it on their own. And,
Sure.
I do know that, when people are losing their hair, they're very cautious and they're very guarded on who to believe and who to trust and where to turn to. So, just having like baby steps, like here's who we are. This is what we're doing. Here's an option if you want to take it type of thing.
Exactly.
You know what? I would be even open to, and I'm sorry I'm doing this live without asking you guys, but I'm sure you'll be on board. But I would be even open to like once a month or once in a while coming and doing a live Q&A for people who
Absolutely
are in legit
100%.
group, and
yes.
they could come and pick our brains, and
Yeah.
we could talk
Yeah.
about it and see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to look at the Facebook, the informational page, and like see where you can insert, your information or how we can start to implement this, because everything that you guys just talked about is a wrap up of 9 years of comments and questions and concerns that I've been seeing from people posting in the group.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're here for
Wow.
you.
Amazing.
This
Perfect.
is a mission.
Yeah.
Change the hair world as we know it. So,
And also, we want to tell the Hairwire audience, please check out Kelly's group. I think Carrie did write the name on the comments, because we all need each other, and our mission is to bridge the gap. And here we go. We are bridging the gap right here live on the Hairwire. That is amazing. Like I can see our mission is just right there. Here you go.
I kind of feel the same way.
We're here, guys, and if we have been doing this for almost a year now, and we want to thank you to our viewers, to our listeners, all of you on all the different platforms that we have been broadcasting. We want to thank you because it is community. It is community what brings us together. It is the necessity. It is bringing together people who have the need to the people who have the answers, and just put it in together and let things happen naturally, organically,
Imagine.
without pushing sales or pushing anything, products or anything. No, God forbid, we never push products, we never push anything. We just want to put people to the right information, and if there's a good product, we certainly we'll present it, but we'll never push it. That's a whole different thing. So again, Kelly, I want to thank you for giving us your time today and be here at the Hair Wire. And definitely, we're going to be collaborating some more in the future. But thank you for being here with us today, Carrie. Before we go, I wanted to also mention, because there was something that was bothering me, and it was that I saw a couple of videos of certain product, which I will not mention, and they were doing deep fake with Dr. Bauman's face and voice, and even other public presenters and other doctors to promote a particular product. Now,
Yeah,
that
I
was
remember.
scary.
I
That
remember.
was scary.
yeah, you guys, I'm going to reiterate on that and talk about marketing and AI. AI is it's a double-edged sword. It is very beneficial, but it is also very, very dangerous. And we're getting, and I'm seeing tons of marketing. I even saw an influencer friend of mine that right now is being accosted, and it's all AI and fake news. And, weed that information out. Just because you see the ad with that person's face, yes, it could be AI manipulating what it is. Go to the actual person's website. So if you see it, so say you see me or Sergio or Basan's face on something, go to our actual website, and if we are in fact endorsing it, it will be on our platforms or on our private Instagram pages. But make sure you do your due diligence and dig deep and make sure, and just don't be like, oh, it's on a website. Look at the handle, look at the URL. I double, triple look. I don't just look at the website. I also look at the Instagram handle. I look at the Facebook handle or the LinkedIn handle. And if there's two or three confirmations from that person's actual page endorsing that product or that information, then in fact then it would be legit. But make sure you're getting it from the source and not just from an ad. Okay.
Yeah. So having
getting legit information, and weeding out through those layers of things. It's
marketing scary.
That's what Carrie does for us. She weeds out all these people out.
I see. I remember when I went to hair. So, Kelly, I'm a cosmetologist. I grew up in the salon, but my mom strongly encouraged me to get a degree in business too, in case I wanted to open up my salon. But I realized trichology was my passion. That's why I have the marketing degree and the trichology and the cosmetology. But I found when I was in marketing school, we actually had to do a code of ethic. I remember us all standing there with their hand up and swearing to God and saying that we would have ethical responses and stuff. And it's funny because I'm like, does not anybody practice code of ethic anymore? So, but anybody can do marketing. So do your due diligence, do your research. Research is key, and go to the primary source, not the secondary source of information.
Or the third one, or the fourth one, or the fifth one, for that matter, because it's so convoluted nowadays that it's scary. It's scary. You want to find out good information, and you see these advertisements and everything. They look so fantastic, and when you go to the website, it's not the real website. A lot of scammers out there. Beware, be vigilant. But most of all, stay connected here with the Hairwire. I want to thank you guys. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Bisan. We'll see you next week. God bless you all. Till then, bye-bye, guys.